We had the focus group Tuesday night. We've come out of it knowing the direction we need to go in a logo. That's pretty set, which is good. What's not set is the name.
We're digging in, trying to do a good bit of research so that we can get some general thoughts and ideas about what is the community looking for with regard to our brand.
This is the big month for us. We're bringing the community in to give us some feedback and hopefully finalizing the brand for a launch in late summer, early fall. One thing I'll mention, soccer club over football club. They understood both, but the more they talked through it, it was a lot about embracing that this is America, not Europe, and we call it soccer.
Well, and a lot of them like the double entendre.
With
South Carolina.
With South Carolina,
Yeah.
Triumph and Alliance were very even.
I've gone back and forth with the two. I think ultimately I keep coming back to Triumph as well.
I kind of go back and forth myself, but if I had to choose, I like the uniqueness of Triumph and the story that it tells. When we showed them United, they were, very set against it. So when you put up Alliance, I was looking for oh, great replacement. That's exactly what that means. But they were still kind of like, eh.
I think, if we're in this on a mission to change lives, Triumph is a rally cry.
And I think it speaks to this region pretty clearly in ways that people understand who've been here for a while.
Atlanta United has the Unite and Conquer line. I see Together We Triumph very similarly to that.
That's a good point.
You feel the weight of the project as time starts to pass, and don't get me wrong, it's fun and we enjoy it, but there's a little bit of anxiousness to get everything done. We need this all finalized yesterday. Part of the reason we had the focus groups and the survey and all that was to get this consensus. Logo-wise, we showed them the sketches. Their first thought was the top is 2 Sacramento Kings. It's not a no-go for the top. I just don't think they were taken with it like I think a lot of us were. This is probably the comments we all had. We like the shape, we like the mountains at the bottom, we like the thickness and the weight of the border. They didn't like the ball and star logo. But they really liked this. They loved it when I explained, the white is the mountains and it's rivers running through the mountains. This is the old triangle shape. But when I showed it in color, they were like, yeah, that's it. I like the idea of going with that, and a shield, of course.
But we also have a very, very talented design creative team, and I think we should listen to them just as much.
Is that you saying you don't like the logo direction they picked?
No.
Because it sounds a lot like that.
I know. I could say that, but no, I have wonderment about it.
I mean, that's what our responsibility is, to take it all in together and come out with something that, really is the right answer.
You don't leave any of the meetings in 100% agreement with perfect direction. That's just the creative process. And I think it's hard to constantly remind yourself you're making good progress and not having setbacks when there's a little bit of disagreement. And that's just the creative process. We met afterwards and talked team names this morning, and I think Triumph is what it's going to be. I think we feel good about that. And I said, well, do you want the logo to represent the team name? What the focus group said is we want it to be about our area. It was all of them saying, I completely agree. And so we were overwhelmed by that. What I want to do is make sure we're taking into account their ideas as well as what you guys recommend. I know you're going to hate me for what I'm about to say. I drew a logo that I think mixes everything. It's at the bottom. It might seem busy compared to what we had before,
but we've seen lots of busy in every other club
But I think this addresses kind of the across the board comments of there wasn't enough.
Well, the most overarching comment you heard, if I'm hearing you correctly, is get more community oriented stuff in there. The rivers, the mountains, that stuff.
Right.
For the most part, I think if I have good solutions for all of it.
I think we've all been on the same page generally as the process has gone along, as we continue to narrow down names and logos and stuff. There is a little bit of difference. There were some I liked a little more than others, but I think there's some healthy disagreement, which is good gut checking as we get through the process.
Yeah, we're keeping a lot of secrets right now. It gets increasingly harder to do, but We need to because we want there to be a big splash. We want everybody to be able to enjoy an unveiling. And there's a lot of work going into this, but there will be a sense of satisfaction when we can unveil what we're working on and let our community see it.
Coming up on the next episode of Game Plan.
We're really excited to become a little more tangible tonight. People have been really supportive today leading up to this, so we can't wait to get going.
Tonight is really the culmination, and not just our ideas, but the ideas of so many passionate soccer fans in this great community of ours, and we are honored to just be part of the group that's making it possible here.
We feel like this is truly representative of the great place that we live, and hope that you embrace it and make it your own.